Welcome back to another episode here in the Crash Out League TV, and it's like nothing that you've seen before. Why? Because we are heading on to playoff season, baby. Playoff season. So buckle in, strap in, because we got so much stuff to go over here in this show right here. Hey, trust me, you're gonna want to stick it out for the whole episode for this one. So lock in, folks. Manny, talk to them.
Absolutely. Welcome back, folks, to episode 14 here in the Crash Out League TV. We are so happy to have you. A-Dub, let's jump right into it because we got a lot to talk about, like he said. Let's go ahead and look at the bounty board, A-Dub. We had an update last week. Let's see if we have another one going into this week.
As we get going with the bounty board, we all know how it's been going on. Season is up for grabs for anybody based off what you're doing, wins, losses, trades, waiver wire pickups. How are you affecting the league? And as we all know, last week was the last week of the regular season. And who had the bounty? It was Team C minus with Coach Cam. Who was stepping up to the plate to try to collect it? It was Gridiron Cartel, a team who is fighting for a spot to get into the playoffs. So not only do you want to collect this bounty, you want to get the win for yourself. We all know only two things can happen. You either can take your shot and hit, or take your shot and miss and shoot yourself in the foot. There's only two ways it can go. Now, the question is, what did Coach Deshaun and the Gridiron Cartels do this week? And the answer is, folks, he took his shot, it landed, and he took down Coach Cam and Team C minus for the last bounty here in the Crash Out League. Manny, give me your thoughts. What's your thoughts on this one right here?
Hey, man. He knew that there was a chance to get into the playoffs. People have been talking about him all season long, man. The rookie, can he finally show up and show out? We've been waiting to see this. And you know what? When the lights were the brightest, he showed up, man. You can't give anything but love and the flowers that are deserved to Coach Deshaun and the Gridiron Cartel picking up the win and that final bounty.
Yes, sir. That's the best way to close out the season, man, to me. The bounty being up for grabs. That means Coach Cam, unfortunately, just like Coach Preach, was only able to hold on for the bounty just for that 1 week. And this is our final board of bounties from week 1 to week 14. I just want to congratulate all the coaches who made this board right here. And for the coaches who was able to hold on for multiple weeks. You know, this is brand new to the league and it's still growing. We're still trying to find reasonings and incentives behind it. But appreciate everybody for participating in this. But like I said, this was the best way to close it out. Because now the bounty is up in the air for the next season. And we're going to see who will be the first person to collect and start with the bounty in 2026.
Now, A-Dub, real quick, man, I gotta ask you, if you had a thought about who would take the bounty into the playoffs right now, okay? I don't want you to give the answer because we're gonna talk about the playoff look in a second, but I want you to stew on that for a little bit. Who would you give the bounty to if once we get into that playoff picture, man? And maybe that'll be the unofficial bounty up for grabs as the rest of the squad kind of gets through the entire way. Now, nonetheless, we got to talk about this fantasy recap because a lot went down. So we go ahead and we look at the recap of this previous week here in the Crash Out League. Now, we're not going to give you too much, of course, because, hey, we got some playoff stuffs coming up, man. It's going to be real exciting. So we will look at our game of the week recap, and that was the Jamirical Workers against Team CDL. Now, we knew this was going to be, or my apologies, I have the wrong script here in front of me. We have the Jamaica Workers against Money Manny. Now, this one was going to be important, folks. The only reason why was because that Money Manny controlled his own destiny to get into the playoffs. There's a loss there, AW.
Yeah.
There's a loss there.
Yeah.
So he lost that control over his own destiny to get into the playoffs. Now, Jamaica Workers, though, that's a win for them. And 124 points. That's a nice bit of points to have yourself in the last week before the playoffs. So remember, folks, what has AW been preaching about all season long? It's gonna come down to points to depend on if you get into the playoffs, if you get the 2 seed, 3 seed, 4, if you're at the number 1 spot. So this one was a big one, and Jamaica Workers come out with the W. Money Man, he didn't have his workhorse. CMC, not there. And James Cook, not showing up. And so there was just a lot going into this one. It was kind of like a plug and play kind of week for him. He didn't have a lot going right for him. But this is the question. Does that come back to bite him later on? We also have what we said was going to be our upset of the week. And we got it right. We got it right. It came down to it. It came down to it, folks. But it was a 133-132 win for the Gridiron Cartel. AW, your thoughts on the Rooks' win to end the season before the playoffs?
What a way to close out the regular season. Way to show up when you needed to show up for your team and put the right guys in to make the right plays to get the win that you need to be able to fight for a spot for the playoffs. Now, we're going to talk about if it was enough. But at the end of the day, you had one job to do this week, and it was to get a win. And you did the first part. We'll see if you did the second part as well. But congratulations to you. This coach has been fighting, I'm talking tooth and nail with injuries all season. This coach was at the bottom of the league the whole season. And this coach continued to claw and fight. I'll say this. It's coaches like you, Coach Deshaun, that make the Crash Out League great.
Absolutely.
You not only are you just a rookie here in this league, you didn't give up when everything felt like it was hopeless. When you lost your first 4-round picks to injuries early in the season, a lot of people would have quit. A lot of people wouldn't have cared about trying to continue to get wins. But the fact that you kept hustling and you kept grinding, you affected this league. You have 5 wins on the season. That means you beat 5 teams that dictated how this playoff tree is going to look here in a minute. So I just want to put that on your chest as you head in to see what your season might look like for the rest of the season and head into 2026. Keep your head up. Come back stronger next season and come win it all next season.
Yeah, I mean, hey, you talk about the injuries. Got to give flowers. Absolutely. So a big shout out to the Gridiron Cartel, man, fighting tooth and nail. They were up for that last spot in the playoffs. Now, Ada, before we move on to what this possible playoff picture is going to look like, we got to talk about some crash outs. And we had a whole bunch of crash outs this week. So starting from the very bottom, it is Team Luck. He, as we all know, will be heading into the off season, but it was a struggle for him. He finished with 80.06 points on the day. And then right above with 84.30, that is Team CDL. Now, AW, CDL needed a big week to try to get himself something. And unfortunately, he's a crash out right now. Right above him, my apologies, CDL with 89. GBK was the one with 84. GBK had himself 84.3. CDL with 89. And finally, for the second week in a row, A-Dub, Money Manny with 95.08. He did not nearly do enough to get himself out of this crash out board. A-Dub, man, your thoughts? We had some heavy hitters. I mean, heavy hitters go under the 100 mark this week.
Yeah, and these the same guys that playoff position matters. This is when you're supposed to show up and have your guys play as hard as they can, to at least to try to get a win. But even if you don't get a win, do the next best thing. Put up as many points as you can. And the fact that these are the same coaches who playoff position dictate based off not only wins and losses, but points. This is very disappointing. This is very misfortunate. And we will see soon if that affected them at the end.
Absolutely. Now, just for that recap, again, Team Luck at the bottom, he had 80.06, GBK 84.30, CDL 89.30, and Money Manny with 95.08. Now, A-Dub, we're going to do this kind of in the style of the college football playoff reveal. We just had that happen a few days ago. So it's kind of be same style. So here we go. Let's pull up the board, A-Dub. Let's see the spots that we have to fill out.
All right. So, as we all know, the commish has opened up a 7th spot for the playoffs for more competition here in this league. What does that mean? Well, the obvious thing, 7 teams go to the playoffs this year instead of 6. The next obvious thing, only 1 team gets a bye week. Everybody else got to go to war this week that made the playoffs. And the Crash Out League playoffs is war indeed. So, as you can see, nobody's on the tree right here. But we're going to reveal it to you guys, just like Manny said, in a matter of the college football playoff style or the March Madness style, when we let you know who fell where based off last week. Manny, I give you first dibs. Which number?
Ooh, I get first dibs.
Which number do you want to see revealed first?
All right, we got to get the people hooked in first, right? So let's go. We can't give them anything too juicy quite yet. Let's go middle of the pack. Why don't we see who the number 4 team is in the playoffs this year? Team 4. Who is in that 4th slot?
Team that's in that 4th spot will be, and the people at home, give me a drum roll, please. It will be Team C minus Draft at the number 4 spot. I know last week he was at the 3 spot, but because he was upsetted by the Gridiron Cartel, like I said, Coach, you are infecting the tree. He fell to the number 4 spot. So, nonetheless, congratulations to Coach Cam. You made it to the playoffs, and you made it to a good spot at number 4. Hey. Where do I want to land next? Where do I want to land?
What do we got next?
Well, you know what? Let's head down a little bit. Let's go to number 6. Let's go to number 6.
Okay.
Who was able to secure this spot at number 6? And that team is the Prodigal Sons with Coach Dono. Congratulations to you, Coach. Coach was already pretty much predicted to sell this spot and get this spot at the number 6, but solidified himself by upsetting Team CDL and getting a win over that organization. So shout out to Coach Dono. You are in the playoffs. Let's see if you can make a run. Manny, it's on you.
Let's go right back up there. I actually want Team 3 now. Who do we got in the 3rd spot?
In the 3rd spot, That team will be, give me a drum roll once again, Mo City Menace with Coach Preach at the helm. He did exactly what he was trying to do and finish in that top three. With Coach Cam taking a loss and Coach Preach getting a win, it put him one game above Coach Cam, and he was able to squeak his way out of 4 to the third spot so he could potentially have a top seed if he gets to the second round.
So, folks, again, that is our mid-season tournament champion. So he was able to determine what the last 2 weeks of the season looked like. And like you said, I mean, he did his job, certainly. Who do you got next? Who do you want to reveal next on this sheet?
I think we stay here in the middle of the pack at 5. Who was able to secure the 5 spot that will be playing Team C- draft? And that team will be Smooth Criminal with Coach A Dub. That team was predicted to finish right here in this spot, but ultimately clinched their spot when they was able to take down Team GBK this week. So congratulations to you, Coach A Dub, for handling your business. And let's see what you could do this week against Coach Cam.
Now, A-Dub, here's the thing that I'm thinking of, man. Do we reveal 1? Do we reveal 7? Do we kind of see what the play looks like and throw out 2? Decisions.
I mean,
A-Dub, I think there was more drama looking at who was going to be in that 7th slot. So let's hold off on that one just a little bit because we had 3 teams up for that 7th slot.
Yep. I like that.
So you, as the main host of this, I'm going to give you the option. You want to reveal number 1? You want to reveal number 2?
Ooh, okay. I think we should rip the Band-Aid off. Let's go 1. Let's go 1 right here.
Rip it off. Let's go.
Hey,
who has the first round bye in the Crash Out League?
Give you guys his backstory. There was 2 teams up for that bye week in the first round. Coach Preach made sure that these 2 organizations had to face people that could dictate them losing instead of getting wins to affect the tree to make it shake. Now, nobody know what the ultimate goal was for Coach Preach, but nonetheless, we do know he wanted to affect the Jamaica Workers and Team CDL. And as we all know, Team CDL has been the number 1 team since week 1. I'm going to say that one more time for everybody. Coach Barlow and Team CDL has been number 1 since week 1. Now, the question is, was they able to still keep their number 1 spot after blowing last week and not putting up major points? Now, the answer is the team who has the bye week and will escape playing this week and can relax a little bit will be the Jamaica Workers with Coach Fabian. We have a new number 1 team in this league, people. At the end, the Jamaica Workers and Coach Fabian got a win. Team CDL and Coach Barlow got a loss, and their records was tied. So what does that mean, people? It come down to points. And the fact that Team CDL didn't play their best, their team tires blew out, and he was only able to put up 89 points. The Jamaica Workers and Coach Fabian was only down 20-so points before the week started. So the fact that they put up 124 versus 89 helped them get right. I'm talking about like right over the top, man. Right over the top. Let me see if I can get an exact number. The Jamaica Workers have 1,775.76. Team CDL has 1,760.54. So we talking 15 points is what kept Team CDL from being the number one seed here in this league all the way to the finish. So shout out to Coach Fabian and the Jamaica workers for going ahead and handling your business and taking the number one spot, which means the number two spot goes to Team CDL. Manny, I don't know about you, but I didn't see that coming.
I didn't see that coming either. But I mean, hey, this all goes back to one person, and that's Mo City Menace and Coach Preach, because he had this plan made up since the beginning. You know, he wanted these two dudes not only to go against teams that could possibly derail them, he had them go against each other also. And that was a big clash. So definitely it all goes back to Coach Preach. And I mean, hey, he's still pulling strings, he's still affecting things. And that means Team CDL, who has been our number one for weeks on end, now finds himself in the two spot. And I got to tell you, it you know, I was there for one of the games that his guys was playing in. One of his guys goes down with an injury, man, and you could just kind of tell things were going to get real rough, real wicked. As the week went on, and I mean that's what ended up happening, you know. So now, we have the final Team 7 slot. Now, for those who maybe don't know, Gridiron Cartel, GBK, and Money Manny were all part of that, up for grabs, really, for that number 7 spot to get themselves into the playoffs, to go get to the big dance, to go try to go cash in on that pot and get yourself a crash out league Lombardi. Ada, who rounds out our 7th and final spot in the playoff picture?
This is how we're going to do it. We're going to start it off by saying, you know what, to all three coaches, y'all fought hard the whole season. You know, if it comes down to this point where it's a 3-way tie, you could be nothing but happy with what's going on. You know what I mean? The fact that you fought this hard all the way to the end and you still have a chance to make the playoffs. With that being said, the first team that's out for competing for the last spot here in the Crash Out League playoffs will be Gridiron Cartel. Unfortunately, you got the win. You got what you needed to be able to be in a race and make it a tie. But the fact that you only put up 1,539.46 points through the whole season is what bit you in the ass. It caught up to you in the end, not putting up as many points as being efficient throughout the season. Like we said, we understand you had a lot of injuries, a lot of points that went away. But at the end of the day, you just couldn't pivot hard enough to be able to get into this playoff run. So congratulations to you for the season. Hopefully we see you again next season and come compete even harder. But you are dismissed and headed to Cancun for the off season. Manny, that means we are down to two organizations. And that's between Money Manny and Team GBK. They both ended the season 5-9 times. So what does that mean again, folks? It come down to points. And which organization was able to outscore the other one? That will be Money Manny. Congratulations to the organization Money Manny with Coach Manny. You able to secure your spot. More points, a significant amount of more points to Team GBK, if I should add at that, putting up 1,751.56 versus Team GBK 1,578.14. So the way that it sounds, folks, both Team GBK and Gridiron Cartel would have to get at least one more win over Money Manny if they ever had a chance to eclipse him for the number 7 spot. Good luck to you guys heading into the off season to Cancun, and we'll see you guys next season. Manny, you got this You got this belt going on,
My
and
bad, bro. I didn't even mean to pull this out for real. I didn't.
yeah,
I didn't even. I don't even know where this thing came from for real. You know
it
what I'm
did just
saying?
appear.
Anyways, folks, let's go ahead and let's move on to what we got. All the teams made it to the playoffs that really we knew were gonna make it to the playoffs. You know what I mean? Like we didn't really have like a big question or anything like that. It's super heavy. Hold on, give me 1 second. I just got it. Yeah, there we go. Anyways, so Ada, we have another memo from the commish. We've got another bit of information. So for those that may not have made the playoffs or you're trying to focus for the playoffs, we need you to take a second. Zeta, we got an email this morning that the Crash Out League Awards will once again return this season. Adub, could you go ahead and speak on that a little bit as the commish would like us to bring that up in this week 14 episode, or episode 14 as we get into the playoff?
All right. So the commish has dropped us with another gem for another season for all the coaches in the league, in the playoffs, or even outside of playoffs. So y'all know how we do. We are voting for awards based off the regular season this week. Now, I'm going to tell you what's the categories, what's the description of them, who's nominated for them, and the deadline when this is due. Pay attention to me closely, follow closely, so you can understand what's going on in this league right now. So let's start it off with something very simple. We're going to start off with Comeback Coach of the Year. Comeback Coach of the Year highlights the coach who has silenced the critics, overcome adversity, or a rough start to deliver a huge bounce back performance for the season. Which organizations are up for Comeback Coach of the Year? It would be the Prodigal Sons with Coach Dono, Gridiron Cartels with Coach Deshaun, and Team GBK with Coach Mike. Congratulations to you coaches being nominated for this award, and good luck to you guys to try to go ahead and clinch that. Then we move on to the next award that's up, and that's the Standing on Business Award. It recognizes the coach who delivered consistent dominance week after week through strategic moves, lineup decisions, and clutch trades. This coach always handles their business. And those that are nominated for that is Coach Cam with Team C Minus Drive, Coach Preach with Mo City Menace, Coach Justin with Team CDL, and Coach Fabian with Team Jamaica Workers. Congratulations to be nominated for that award right there. That's huge. And good luck as you compete to see who will come out on top with that. The next award that's being given out is the Waiver Wire Wizard. And this is for the coach who worked the waiver wire magic, snagging the best pickups and turning them into game changers for the rest of the season. That nominee is up for all coaches here in this league, just based off what coach think who did what through the season. So good luck to every coach here in this league. Another award that every coach is nominated for is Draft Day Guru. It is awarded to the coach whose draft strategy turned out to be a season-long masterclass. These draft day picks made all the difference. Now that means based off what you did on draft day and who you picked up, are they still on your team making major impacts towards the end of the season? And which coach was able to make that decision? So that's that award. Then we have Rookie Coach of the Year, the best newcomer who proved their mettle in their debut season. They're a force to be reckoned with here in this league. And we all know who is up for that. And that's Coach Deshaun and a Gridiron Cartel and nobody else. Coach, go ahead, congratulate yourself with that one. You go ahead and snag you one off the rip. Hey, the commish, make sure he's taking care of all his. All right. Another award that we have here is biggest upset. This goes to the team organization that shocked the league by pulling off the most surprising and memorable win of the season. Now, the games that was chose by the commissioner for this one is the Prodigal Sons taking down Team CDL Week 14. Team Luck taking down the Prodigal Sons Week 4. Smooth Criminal taking down Team CDL Week 12. C minus losing to the Gridiron Cartel in Week 14. Then we have Gridiron Cartel taking down Smooth Criminal in Week 7 and going all the way to Week 1. Team GBK taking down Team Luck. Those are the games that's up for grabs for biggest upset of the year. And all the coaches will be able to decide which one they was mostly shocked about through the whole season. We are down to our last two awards. And one of them is Mr. Impact Award. This goes to the coach whose decisions, whether brilliant or crushing, had the most significant influence on the playoff race and the league standings. That means this is the person week in, week out, whether they made a trade, a waiver pickup, whether they got a big win, a big loss, whatever they did, it affected how the playoff race came about, the final playoff tree that you saw. The teams that's up for that is Coach Preach with Mo City Menace, Coach Cam with Team C minus draft, and Coach A Dub with Smooth Criminal. Congratulations to the nominees. Good luck to you guys as you try to win this award. Now we down to our last one, Manny. Our last one here that's being offered by the commission. And it's the biggest one now. It's the one that everybody want to be able to compete for. And that's Coach of the Year.
Yeah.
It's up for Coach of the Year. It's the ultimate recognition for a coach who outsmarted the competition, delivered consistent wins, and showcase unmatched leadership throughout the whole season. The teams that's up for that nomination is Coach Justin with Team CDL, Coach Preach with Mo City Menace, and Coach Fabian with the Jamaica Workers. Congratulations to those coaches right there who are all competing for Coach of the Year. The commission wish he could give all y'all Coach of the Year. Y'all all a phenomenal season in y'all own way. But at the end of the day, it's going to be one, and we're going to let the league decide who deserves the ultimate MVP coach here in this league. And that's all the awards for what the commission has sent us to introduce to you guys. Now, the only thing to update you guys on is when will this come out and when is it due? It's out right now. As you watching this show right here, right now, the commission has released the form into the chat for you guys to click on and make those votes and make those choices. Now, when will it be due? The commission set it for Sunday night football. We want this to basically be done before playoffs is decided because, like we said, these awards should be given based off regular season. So we don't
Right.
want playoff implications to be affecting you guys' choices. So he won it by Saturday night, but he gonna give you guys a push to try to get it Sunday night for Sunday night football. So once again, congratulations to all the nominees who made it to these awards, and we wish you guys nothing but a good luck. Manny, what's your thoughts?
Man, I'm excited. I'm excited to see, who's able to collect some of these awards. Again, there's some that you might think is a clear winner, and then the chat starts talking, and you go, "Oh, it might not be as clear as I thought it was going to be," and that's what I'm really excited for. Certainly, coaches kind of campaigning for themselves, in terms of the three that we have for Coach of the Year and things like that. So that's going to be real exciting to kind of see what they decide to do, how they decide to campaign. Because again, like you talked about it, we're all kind of going for this one, right? We're all kind of going for that MVP trophy, and so for those, right, who aren't in the conversation for an MVP trophy, hey, there's always next year. You might as well come back and get after it again because you can't just go out on a loss. You know what I mean? So that's going to be real exciting. Now, hey, Dub, we've had the people here for a good while. We've hoped you've been thoroughly entertained, but we got a little bit more for you. So we're going to hope to go a little quick and get you guys in and out of here. But we got to talk about Game of the Week and the upset alert. A-Dub, go ahead and pull up that playoff tree once again, and we'll go ahead and show you here in just a little bit. But of course, you got to know and got to remember the Jamaica Workers now with the first round bye. They find themselves at the top of the mountain. Nobody can touch them. So, of course, we're going to talk about the other matchups that we have going 2 through 7. So, hey, Dub, if you look at this one now, who jumps out at you? What matchup jumps out at you for game of the week?
Man, it's been a lot of chatter. I'm talking about a lot of chatter since the playoff tree has been officially decided. So the game that I'm most excited for to be game of the week has to be Mo City Men's versus the Prodigal Sons because the way that these two coaches are going at it on the internet, Manny, I'm talking about they are in war mode and they're not hiding it. There's no sugarcoating it, nothing. They telling you I'm coming to take your head off. You better come with that same energy this week, or your head is mine. I'm walking it back like we in Valhalla, and I'm showing my king that I captured the general's head. So based off that, I feel like that gotta be game of the week. Give me Mo City Men's versus Prodigal Son.
I like it, man. I really like it. I think that's going to be a firework matchup. And then, A-Dub, I think we're kind of somewhat forced, hand, arm twisted to kind of choose this one as an upset alert. It's going to be the biggest kind of difference between the two, and that is going to be that 7-2 matchup in Money Manny and Team CDL. Now, Ada, we still don't have word if CeeDee Lamb will be out of concussion protocol by the time the Cowboys game rolls around. And we saw a generational stinker from Jalen Hurts on, Monday Night Football against the Chargers. And I got to be frank with you, A-Dub, CDL cannot afford performances like that again in the playoffs when mistakes get punished down the way. Money Manny, of course, will get back CMC, who has been a fantastic player this year. And there's been a couple moves on the waiver wire as well. So we'll see what this one is going to turn into. I like this one to be our upset alert, as the possibility that a 7 takes down a 2 seed in the league. Now, that's all we have for our fantasy football, but we got some real football for you. It's your favorite segment, it's our favorite segment. NFL games of the week. We've got 4 games for you that you're going to want to pay attention to throughout the week. Not only do they have huge fantasy implications, but it's good football, and you're going to want to watch these week in and week out. So we got another edition for you here in episode 14. Now, we go to the first one. It's going to be the Ravens versus the Bengals. The Ravens, that offense has seemed to be kind of a question mark in all reality. Are they going to let Lamar Jackson be Lamar Jackson? Can he even get to that point? Derrick Henry has seemed to have Father Time catch up with him. And then in terms of wideouts, it's Isaiah Likely and Zay Flowers. Who's going to catch the ball? That's not really the tandem that you're looking for. Whereas on the other side, the Bengals, who thought that maybe, man, they're down and out, this team's going to be an easy win if this was maybe 2 weeks beforehand. Joe Shiesty is back. Joe Burr is back in the building, and he's got this team playing differently. The defense seems like they're like, oh, Joe's back. Okay, we'll try now. No, we're happy to kind of try, and they are certainly doing that. They are fighting tooth and nail, even picking up a win against the Ravens a few weeks ago. So this one's going to be a good one. That's Sunday at 12. The next game we have is Bills versus the Patriots. The Patriots already got a win over the Bills, and the Bills, when they're typically used to dominating that AFC East, now find themselves in the hunt, well, in the wild card picture, but nonetheless, they would certainly like to possibly get a win of the AFC East. We know who Josh Allen is, and when he has that 1-2 punch with James Cook right behind him, it is a very dangerous sight. On the other side, man, I love Drake May. Shout out to Drake May. He's playing some fantastic football, and I know Coach Preach is also pretty happy about that as well. That's also going to be Sunday. That's also going to be at 12 o'clock, the first slate of games. Next, we've got Lions versus Rams. These are 2 powerhouses in the NFC. The Lions have themselves a lot going for them. Jahmyr Gibbs has obviously taken over that backfield. He is the true alpha running back. Monty's going to get a few touches, but I wouldn't count on him to win your fantasy week this week if that's who you need to get you those points. On the other hand, you have Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jared Goff. That is starting to look like it's starting to get better and better as the weeks continue to progress. And on the other side, you have the Rams, one of the most dominant duos in the wide receiver game today. Matthew Stafford is absolutely dynamic. And when he's able to throw the Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams, and when that's going to be a defensive matchup nightmare between the two, that's going to be very interesting to see. The Rams also have a great defense. They've kind of regressed a little bit as the season's gone on, but nonetheless, they really know when to put it on when needed. That's at 3:25 on the second slate of games on Sunday. And then to round it all off, the Seahawks come into this one. They have a dominant defense. They have a well-oiled machine on offense. Sam Darnold has kind of told Miami or Minnesota in his rearview mirror, y'all should have signed the contract when you had a chance. And maybe you'd be in the playoff hunt right now. But instead, I've got the Seahawks well on our way to getting ourselves into the playoffs. But coming in is a bit of an interesting one. It's the Colts, folks. Daniel Jones goes down with a ruptured Achilles. He is done for the season. Who do the Colts decide to turn to? Hey, maybe Father Time hasn't caught up with him yet. Phillip Rivers has signed with the Colts, and he is now part of the shoe. Now, of course, they still have Jonathan Taylor, who is one of the best running backs in the NFL this season, and it's a well enough supporting cast on the outside to really be able to open up the defense when needed. But again, we talk about that Seahawks defense. They have scored above 20 points this season in fantasy multiple times. It's not just once, and it's not just against bad teams. They really do punish if you're not on your P's and Q's. That is also at 3:25 on Sunday. So we rewind it all the way back. Ravens versus Bengals Sunday at 12 o'clock. A-Dub, who do you like in this one?
Give me the Bengals going and handle their business against the Ravens this week. That offense has looked spectacular. It looks unstoppable, whether it's to T. Higgins, whether it's to Jamar Chase, whether it's to Mike Gesicki, unless it's Hubert, the other tight end, Chase Brown. They have been looking unstoppable. Last week, it was up against the Bills, and unfortunately, Josh Allen just was Josh Allen in that moment. That's the only reason why the Bills came back and won that game. And some great defensive stops at the end, tipping the ball at the line of scrimmage 2 times at the end. But nonetheless, without those, the Cincinnati Bengals go and win that game, a big time game. So with the Ravens struggling right now and not looking like the Bills are looking, give me the Bengals to handle their business and try to continue to fight to try to get in a playoff picture some way, somehow.
Yeah, it's going to take a lot of luck. Obviously, they got to win out, but it's going to take a bit of a couple few breaks for the Bengals. But I like them in this one too. The Bengals, again, have looked like a completely different team, and Joe Burrow is the one leading that charge. So go ahead and give me the Bengals as well. That's going to be on Sunday. Now, A-Dub, we look toward this one, Bills versus Patriots. We haven't had this matchup happen for a good while, especially not with these much ramifications as we typically had. I think we maybe had it, when you had Brady and the Patriots go against what was an emerging Bills team, but not like this, not with a Josh Allen that's playing at the high caliber level that he is. But Drake May has come what feels like out of nowhere, and he's really got this Patriot team playing some good ball. That's at 12 o'clock as well. So make sure you guys turn on your multi-view and whatever you're watching, or have Red Zone on too. Shout out Scott Hansen. Who do you got, A-Dub?
When it come down to it, I'm riding with the Buffalo Bills. Give me the Buffalo Bills to split this series because they already gave one up in Buffalo to the Patriots. And you're 2 games behind. 2 games behind from getting that solidified spot in your division. So this is a must-win game right here. You got the Patriots flying on all cylinders. Defense look good. Special teams look good. Drake May is arguably in the MVP race right now, so you can't deny that. Ever since Mike Vrabel got his hands on this team and started reshaping it, it turned out to be real good. So it's hard to go against them, but at the end of the day, it's not too many people that's gonna make me go against Superman. So give me Josh Allen, who just got Kincaid back, and it seems like that's the one too. That's all he need to go ahead and get this win. And James Cook to cook some up. I like it. Woo! Give me the Bills, baby.
I like that too. Now, for the sake of competition, I'm not just going to follow everywhere we go together, right? So let's make this a bit of a competition. I'm going to take the Patriots in this one. Now, why? Here's the reason why. The Patriots separate themselves from a good team to being a really great team if you slam the door on the Buffalo Bills to claim that spot. Nobody's going to touch you. The Jets, Dolphins, they are nowhere close. And if you, as the Patriots, are able to slam the door on Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills, you have separated yourself from maybe being a flash in the pan team having one good year to a team who can really continue to have this success. And trust me, I know the folks up in Foxborough are going to be very happy if that is the case. So I'll go ahead and take the Patriots in this one. I still think, though, it's going to be a shootout just because you got Josh Allen on the other side. I can definitely see this game into being who's going to have the ball last, and that very well could be the Patriots in this one. Now we move on. Lions versus Rams, 325. Deb, your thoughts on this one?
I will never in my life. You see this hat on my head? I will never, unless I just absolutely have to, and then I'll still hesitate to ever go for an NFC North team that's not the Packers. Are you crazy? Give me the LA Rams to pull out that motherfucking belt and put it straight on them cats' ass and tear it the fuck up. Give me the LA Rams to get a win against the Lions this week. Enough said.
I'll take the Lions in this one. I think that's going to continue to be a major talking point is if this defense can stop Jahmyr Gibbs. He's the one that makes everything go, really. He has quickly taken over that entire offensive production. If the box decides to load up, hey, Amon-Ra St. Brown's going to be one-on-one on the outside. If they are not going to load up the box for whatever reason, cool. Jahmyr Gibbs is going to gash them for 250 yards and 3 touchdowns as he has in plenty of other games this season. That's at the 325 slot. So again, you're going to have to turn on your multi-view to check out this game as it is the Colts versus the Seahawks. And A-Dub, I've let you take the reins on the first 3. I'm going to start off this one, and I've got the Seahawks. I think the defense is going to be way too much for whoever is going to be back there manning the offense at quarterback. It's just a very, very scary front line linebacker. It's just an all-around great group of guys on that defensive side, and it all starts with the D-line getting that pass rush, and I think that's exactly what we're going to see happen Sunday at 325 AW to round this one off.
Give me the Colts to get the win this week. Something in me, hear me out. Something in me with this Phillip Rivers pickup, and if they decide to play him this week, something in me tells me the Seahawks is not going to take it as serious as other games. And we all know when you don't take a game serious and you don't play fully up to your position, to your limit from the get-go, not, oh, snap, maybe I should lock in after halftime. From the get-go, that team usually loses. And I think that's going to be the case this week. I think if they see Phillip Rivers lining back there or any other quarterback, whether it's Riley Leonard or anybody, they're not going to take the coach serious. And the coach on the opposite end, knowing they just lost Daniel Jones, are going to play the hardest they have ever played this season because they know they don't have their quarterback. And of course, whoever they decide to line up this week is going to need help. So I feel like everybody on the coast is going to step it up this week and play outside their body and shock the league and beat the Seahawks, especially when they just lost the number 1 spot in the AFC to the Jags last week. So give me the Colts.
Alrighty. I like how that one will shape up. A-Dub, we talked about playoffs. We talked about awards. We got a lot of information for these people to take in, man. Go ahead and send them home for us, please.
Hey, if you made it this far, we really do appreciate y'all. We know this episode right here is the longest one through the whole season. It was a lot to report, and I told y'all to lock in and strap in, didn't I? Hey, but nonetheless, hopefully it was entertainment for you. Hopefully you got the information that you needed. We want to say once again, congratulate everybody that was nominated for an award and good luck on that. And especially to the coaches that's in the playoffs this week that's going to war. Listen to me. Every decision matters. This is do or die. You don't get no repeats. You either handle your business this week and get a win to play and earn your spot for next week, or you're going to Cancun to meet up with the other coaches that's already out of the playoffs. Which coach do you want to be? Do you want to compete for that $1,000 and that trophy at the end, or you want to go relax on the beach? The decision is yours. Make the right calls that you can live with. Put the right guys in. and we'll see what happens next week. It's your host, A-Dub, signing out with my co-host, Manny Boy, and we gonna see you guys next week. Bye.